Tracy, are you recording?
Yes,
Great. Okay.
because I like to upload it to YouTube as soon as we're done.
Right, but I did give you permission. You are
Yeah, we're
recording.
good, sweetie. We're good. It's recording now.
All right. Why is my thingy? Okay, this is the regular council meeting for Tuesday, April 6, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. on the Zoom platform. Council President, could you call the meeting to order? Hello? Get my admit.
Council President, are you there?
I saw her.
She's on. She just took her mute button off.
I see Willie Hemmings. I see Councilman Smith. Councilman Smith, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you, Mr. Smith, you on the west side of talking to the people?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And you ask the young people to leave these things.
That's not what I want. Okay. Councilor Stevenson, you want to call the meeting to order? Can everybody see the agenda on the screen, okay?
I don't see the agenda on mine. I see Victoria Deneau, but I don't see the agenda, Victoria.
Okay, let's see. Hold on, let me do it again. Let's try this. You know, where is my?
How you doing? All right. Hey, Justin. Is he gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you on the screen, but we don't see the agenda.
Oh yeah. I'm gone. I don't know. Well,
Huh?
you got to talk to Victoria, the clerk,
No, we
council
should
clerk.
be up
I
here.
had it at one time. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, it was up there earlier. No, he wasn't on here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Councilor Gowdy.
Hey, Victoria, how you doing, Council Clerk?
Where's my agenda?
Deputy Clerk.
Mm,
How's the deputy doing?
Do we have a quorum?
You've got everybody on board, all five.
Clerk?
just one moment. Okay, this is where is my agenda?
It's warm out there today. It's a nice day. Hey, Victoria, can you hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you, Counselor.
Okay, I see your share screen, but you don't have the agenda up, you
I
sweetie.
had it. I don't know what it went somewhere.
Click on it again.
I'm clicking. This should not even be here.
No, that's your whole screen.
I know.
Yeah,
that.
you got California HUD, Mirror House, Property.
Leave that alone, Counselor Martin. Leave that alone. That's not council. That's not a council matter.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Take it on down.
Very much.
If not, we're gonna find out what the matter is.
Okay, so I'm sharing. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay,
Now we see Victoria
I'm
Deneau.
gonna admit. Okay. So
You stepping on paper.
I don't
see my agenda. I wonder if I can. Damn.
know what that is.
Tracy, do you have the? If I lose everybody, I'm gonna have to start over.
Yeah.
So just know that I'm going to look for the agenda.
No.
Here.
This is
Tracy,
not-
do you have the agenda?
No,
I cannot minimize Zoom. Yeah, what happened to my agenda?
you know what? Don't mess around with it, Victoria.
I mean,
I'll find
I
it.
know. I'll knock myself out. It
Yeah,
was
you know
up.
what? I'll get it on my end, sweetie, and
I should
I
be
will
able,
post
wait
it.
a minute. Uh, uh,
Does everybody here have an agenda tonight?
let's see.
That is the weirdest thing.
Got you.
I know.
Let me get mine.
I got mine.
It's
Hold it.
it's the gremlins.
Counselor Smith, do you have an agenda? Counselor Austin, do you have an agenda?
Not in my person. I was
I
looking at the
do.
one on the screen.
Okay. Counselor Austin, do you have an agenda?
I do.
All
Who
right.
is hollering?
Can
That pygmy butt.
Tracy, can you?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right now and I'll post
Okay,
it.
Victoria, can we start this meeting? Because there's a
I'm
lot on
waiting.
this agenda.
Okay, you want to call the meeting to order?
Yes.
Time the meeting start is 6:37 PM. Counselor Stevenson,
Present.
Counselor Gowdy,
Present.
Counselor Martin,
Present.
Counselor Austin,
Present.
Counselor Smith.
Present.
Next, we have remarks of the public on agenda items only, 2-minute time frame.
What?
Mm-mm.
Are there any remarks of the public? Hearing none, let's move forward.
We have no presentations at this time. We have minutes to be approved. Council President, do you want me to list all of them?
What we need to tell the counselors are these minutes need to be approved at the next meeting. So I've looked through some of them today and there's some small stuff that needs to be fixed. So I would ask everybody to just look at them so we can address them at the next meeting.
Next, we have reports and announcements from the mayor. Mayor King, are you there?
Can everybody see the agenda?
Yeah, we can see the agenda now.
All
All
right.
right, thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome. Now, me and Victoria got this to a fine science. We're good.
Next, we
Is
have
the
received.
mayor on the line?
And Willa is, I don't see the mayor. I see Willa.
Willa Hemmons, are you here for the mayor?
I guess until he gets here right now, then I would like to hold his remarks in abeyance until he does arrive. Okay?
Go ahead, clerk.
We have no receipts of communication or petitions at this time. Next, we have reports from council committees. Counselor Gowdy, do you have a report for your committee?
At this time, my committee will be this week and, yes.
We can't hear you, Counselor Gowdy. Can you speak up?
Yeah, at this time, I don't have nothing at this time, but my committee will be this week at 6:30 Thursday.
Okay, Counselor Martin, is there a report for your committee?
Yeah, Health and Safety meets next Tuesday at 5:30. And we're gonna update the gun buyback program. Can you hear me?
You're fine.
Yes.
Okay, and we're gonna do the chase. We got some information from Blaine Griffin from Cleveland, the Cleveland councilman. I was with him a couple of weeks ago, and I had him send the information to the office, and we sent the information to Chief Gardner. So we're going to be sharing that next Tuesday at 5:30, the Health and Safety Committee meeting, and any updates with the fire. That's basically where we are right now. Thank you.
Counselor Austin, do you have a report for your committee?
I do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The General Services Committee did meet on last month. We're talking about how we're gonna continue to improve the infrastructure as we go through this season where there's gonna be a lot of debris. And we also discussed a plan to start working on our cleanup across the city. It's my understanding that some of the counselors that were also on the line at that time agreed that we should orchestrate a cleanup. So I want to see if I can work with the other counselors that were not on the line at that time to actually place this thought into an action. So during the next General Services Administration meeting, that is something I'd like for each of the counselors to come online with a good day for their particular ward. So I can leverage those assets that we may have, potentially putting a dumpster, at least one dumpster available from the assets that are available from my line item, specific for the cleanup of the city. And if the counselor for that ward would like to also contribute a dumpster strategically placed so we can get the most bang for our buck, inform the citizens of what they can bring out, whether it's a couch, chair, so on and so forth, so we can predict what the dumpsters will be filled with and see if we can get the dumpster companies to provide us at least one free dump during our cleanup timeline. So that's one of the major things that came out during our previous meeting. And I would like to follow that up with some more discussion with each counselor so I can make sure that each ward is properly represented. So once the cleanup starts, there's no surprises and that we can actually get the most benefit based on the assets that we have available. So it's time to start that cleanup, monitoring our catch basin, working with the service department so we can get those things taken care of and well maintained. So subject to your question and or concern, Madam Clerk, would you tell them when the next General Services Administration meeting will be, please?
The next meeting will be April 22nd.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
At 5:30 p.m.
At 5:30 p.m.
Thank you.
I have a question for Councilman Austin. Can I ask that question, Madam President?
Can you wait until we get through this legislation, or do you have to do it now?
No, if I don't forget, I can wait.
I'll remind you.
All right.
All right. Go ahead, Clerk.
Counselor Smith, do you have a report for your committee, personnel and appointments?
Counselor Smith, you're muted.
Thank you. I apologize. Thank you. Thank you all. The very next personnel and appointments committee meeting will be on the last Tuesday of this month at 6:30 via the Zoom platform. I beg of you all to please join us. Thank you.
Counselor Stevenson, report for your committee.
Well, we don't have a report this month. We had a meeting scheduled, but that meeting was canceled because the CDBG, it was a CDBG plan and it required some finessing, amending. And so it was pulled out of committee. So that canceled that committee meeting. We will be rescheduling another meeting this month if we get some more information with regard to the finances. Thanks.
The next regular council meeting is going to be April 20th at 6:30. We have no proclamations at this time. There was a bid posted on the city's website, and it is requesting for qualifications regarding landscape grass cutting for program year 2021. It also provided a link where those that are interested can go to get further information. The link is https://www.eastcleveland.org/request-for-qualifications-landscape-grass-cutting. /. Next, we have legislation. We have Resolution 09-21, a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept the bid of and contract with Johnson Controls, 6650 West Snowville Road, Suites K and L, Brecksville, Ohio, 44141, in the amount of $61,476.25 for the purchase and installation of security doors in and around the Martin Luther King Civic Center, 14801 Shaw Avenue, East Cleveland, Ohio, 44112, utilizing proceeds from the Community Development Block Grant CARES Act funds requested by the Community Development Department. And this is sponsored by Juanita Gowdy, Vice President. It is a first read.
Also want to co-sponsor this legislation.
Yeah, Madam Clerk, I would like to be a co-sponsor of this legislation also, please.
Okay.
And I would like to say something about this because the bid that he definitely have his own contract business and Johnson Control have a lot to offer our city. And we need people like that so we can be secure of where our money is actually going. And, so I think that I'm really comfortable with this. That's why I took it out of committee and we can move forward.
I would say also, in addition to this legislation, and Johnson Control has a good history, my concern is when I drive past the Civic Center on a regular basis, it seems like they're breaking out the doors and windows and stuff over there. So I hope once we get these doors installed, that they don't get broke out like they're breaking it out now. And that's been going on for a while. So that's my concern. If we spend $61,000 to get some new doors put in, and then a week too later they're broken, I don't know what we can do about that.
Well, I'm thinking that he's going to also help us with monitoring the Civic Center, monitoring, making sure that it won't be no breaking in. And he had a lot to offer us. So I hope that his, commitment to our city will benefit our city so we can have some kind of security in all areas. Because he, when he did his presentation, he was sharing with us what all he will help us with. So that gave me some thought. And I said that we got to give somebody a try that we know that is here for our community. So I hope that it's not just only security doors, but have all the rest of the things, beautiful things to go with it, the installment. So we can move forward. Any more discussion?
No.
Clerk,
Anybody else, my colleagues, have anything that they would like to say?
Did you all hear me?
Johnson Control. Johnson Control.
Counselor Smith,
Thank you, ma'am. I would also like to co-sponsor this piece of legislation if that's not a problem.
okay.
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 Madam
move-
Clerk,
can we-
you have all the co-sponsors?
I have Councilors Austin, Councilor Martin, and Councilor Smith as co-sponsors.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can we move
Clerk.
forward?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can.
Next, we have Resolution 10-21, a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept the bid of and contract with Johnson Controls, 6650 West Snowville Road, Suites K and L, Brecksville, Ohio, 44141, in the amount of $85,355.12 for the purchase and installation of a fire alarm security system in and around the Martin Luther King Civic Center, 14801 Shaw Avenue, East Cleveland, Ohio, 44112, utilizing proceeds from the Community Development Block Grant CARES Act funds. Requested by the Community Development
Yep.
Department,
This is,
sponsored.
yeah,
Can I finish this, sir?
yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Sponsored by Juanita Gowdy, Vice President. This is a first read.
Okay, now, to make sure we're clear,
Mr. Martin,
Yeah.
Mr. Martin,
yes,
are you recognized, Mr. Martin?
yeah,
Come on now.
are you, did you recognize me, Madam
That's what
President?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
All right, well, I'm trying to see what's the difference between this one and the one we just moved on.
Yeah, because,
Okay, there seems to be some,
mhm.
what's the difference between the two? I'm trying to get some clarification, Madam President.
Okay, this is it's a first read, so you've got about a week to get your clarification. I
No,
don't
I'm
wanna.
asking now.
Council
This is-
President,
Yeah,
one
we
is
need
for
to know.
doors and the other one is for installation of a fire alarm security system.
Thank
Right.
you,
They're two different pieces.
thank you.
Okay, but we know it's two different pieces, but the price look like it's, the 85 and then
Yeah, it is costly.
that is costly. And I feel like it should have came with a package deal, and that's what I was looking for.
That's a interesting observation, Gowdy. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, it's the same corporation, isn't it?
Yes. So why can't he give us a package deal for just one? Because that's
May I be
Yes.
recognized? Willa Hemmons, may I be recognized, Madam Chair?
Go ahead, Willa Hemmons.
Yeah, we did not get sufficient bids. We only got one bid for the entire package. And so Melran divided it into different services with reference to the renovation of Martin Luther King. And so we have bids, we have to adhere to the integrity of the bidding process. So each of the contractors, all the contractors bidded on whatever aspect of the renovation that they desired. So therefore, when they bidded, they were constrained to that particular aspect of the renovation. So he bid on that, the doors, and he competed with 2 or 3 other bidders. And likewise, he bid on the fire alarm security system, which is a much more comprehensive security system if you review the bid than it's not just a fire alarm system. It encompasses a lot of components. And if you review the bidding package, you can see the intricacies and the other parts that are comprised in this fire alarm security system. Does that answer your question, Councilor Martin?
Well, I guess I think we're all comfortable with Johnson Control. I just don't know why come we just didn't have one packet to cover both the doors and the fire alarm.
Everything.
That's my question.
It was bidded on. It would be unfair to the other 2 or 3 bidders. We are bound by the bidding process. And since each component was bid for separately, we have to adhere to that. He just can't break away and say, okay, I'm gonna just now underbid everybody. The bidding process is over, it's completed. And so he is bound and we are bound in terms of honoring what was presented during the bidding process.
And you're saying that he's a Johnson Control is the only one that bid, right? Is that what you're saying?
No. Each component, there were at least 10 different components. Remember, there were the doors, the fire alarm system, the communications, the parking lot, the electricals, the plumbing. I mean, Melran divided each of the renovation areas into separate components. And therefore we got bids on each separate component of the renovation. And that's what we are legally stuck with. We
Listen,
don't have the latitude. We don't have the latitude to break away from what we advertised in the newspaper and what we presented to the public. We can't just arbitrarily say, excuse me, we just can't arbitrarily say, oh, we're gonna throw all that out and do something different. We don't have that flexibility, neither does Johnson Control. He doesn't have the ability now, after the fact, to renegotiate something that was bid on. You understand?
I hear what you're saying.
I hear what you're saying, but can I say something, Madam President?
Go ahead. I hope we don't stay here too long.
My consistent thinking, and my thinking was for him to take this bid, one bid, not breaking it all the way down into different pieces and parts of the building. This is one person that's holding the bid, and this one person is going to do the full job, not just in bits of pieces, because each time when he coming forward, it looked like it's getting higher and higher. And so do we have, how many block grant care fund do we have? And how many people, because the way I was thinking, because I had called a few people in the past saying that when they got the package from Melron Leach, he gave them a full package, and then all of a sudden, when it was time for them to look at the job, he broke it down into different parts. So this is like adding up different parts of money, but for one company, this is way too much for me.
Oh, Lord.
To even consider.
Can I make a
Charles, are
comment?
you on the line, Charles? Finance
Can I make a
Director,
comment?
are you on the line? Madam President, may I
Yeah, I'm on
implore?
the line. I am on the line, but I really can't.
Because
Can I make a comment?
I can't really speak to, you already said it. The rationale, it's not really more I can't really add to why with that rationale.
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead, Counselor Austin.
Yes, as you know, based on capacity, that's how you're able to bid on certain contracts. Now I fully understand why this particular measure is broken out this way. One talks specifically to the locks, and the fire suppression system is a totally different animal. Anybody can put on a lock, enter and program the lock, but not everybody can get certified to actually do the fire suppression system. Life, limb, and eyesight. Totally different capacity. And I would like it if we can kind of either get some information on the front side about performance of a contract versus actually taking a look at, trying to, I understand cost savings and so on and so forth, but you cannot apply a cost savings to something that is beyond someone's technical certification and or competence. This is a $6 billion company, I think I researched. And Johnson Controls has the capacity to kind of bridge the gap. And I'm sure they're not trying to price gouge us for a couple of $1,000s in this instance. I think there's a matter of technical performance and competence that is more important than, trying to see if we can get somebody else to meet their capacity, so to speak. So thank you very much. And that's all I have.
Council
Thank you.
President, you have the mayor, he's logged on now.
I would,
Ms. Gowdy,
yeah.
can we recognize the mayor?
Yes.
Mayor King, we're looking for a report. Do you have a report?
Not
Not
now.
right now.
Not now, after we get through with this, Madam President.
Yeah, because
You
I'm
can't,
still discussing, because I'm still got some things going on.
Yeah, he can give a
He can-
report after we get through dealing with this item. That'll be
Okay,
short
but
action.
it seems like you all gonna be here a while.
Well, we might be here. Shoot.
We know this.
We want to get it right.
Yeah, because I still had some questions to answer about Johnson, control, because if this company is all that in the bag of chips, then he should be giving us a break, because we got East Cleveland City Hall, No elevators ain't fixed up in here. We need paint up in this boy. Need floors. We need our parking lot need to be done. Everything else need to be done in City Hall. You know, from the up to the down, from the in to the out, curtains and everything else. We need to, I mean, I don't mind doing this, but this is just 2 items. I mean, this is just way too much money. And then the whole
Okay.
parking lot should be done. Everything in there should be done. And then it should need to come over here and help us over here too with all this money that he's trying to get, the grant money. And we know we got some CARE Act money, but we don't have to blow
Okay.
it like that. On
All right,
one,
You know how much the alarm system costs?
okay, yeah, we can get an alarm system, and you got police officers can sit their little butts over there in the driving way and watch everything. They flying up and down the street anyway, so they need something else to do.
All right, calm down, Miss Gowdy.
No, I
All
mean,
right, is there any other formal discussion here?
The mayor had his hand up.
I just would say that we definitely need security doors at that facility, because I said about 5 minutes ago, I drive past there and the front doors is the windows broken out and some wood things are put in there. And we've been dealing with this Civic Center for over a year now. So I hope that once we get this in place, whether it's Johnson Control or whoever it may be, that we cover this. And I hope that 2 weeks from now, we ain't looking back and they done broke the windows, the front door windows out, and the security system works, whatever the case may be. We've been dealing with this Civic Center thing for a while now. Thank you.
Great.
Mayor King?
Thank you, Council President. Hi, Council. How's everybody doing tonight?
All right.
How are you?
Excuse my tardiness here. Just there's always a lot going on in the city. Pardon me for being late. Where are we at in the agenda?
We are at Johnson Controls, but if you would like to give your report and then come back to Johnson Controls or vice versa, that's what we
Okay.
need to happen.
Excellent. So which Johnson Control are we at? Is there only one Johnson Control? What?
No, there's
Okay, that's,
two. There's the emergency
21?
921 and 1021.
Okay, Johnson Control 1021. Frontier around the Martin Luther King Center. Okay, this is for security doors. Yes. So I think when I walked in, someone was alluding to the fact that this is a multi-billion-dollar company. We've talked about this before. This comes off of the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. This was actually bid out. Johnson Controls came in the lowest. So we did a number of things. The bid satisfies CDBG, but we didn't even have to bid it because it's a Sourcewell vendor, which means they've already been bid out. The Sourcewell number is not on here, but I can give that number to you, right? So this is as low as you're going to get it. It's been bidded out. The doors are as old as the facility. In my understanding, it was 68 that it was built. So it needs new doors. If you go over there, you'll see a number of the doors have rotted out from the bottom. We're talking about commercial doors. Meets all the specs. This company is well qualified. For those of you who have been in City Hall, you can see that they've done some work around City Hall, putting in new doors and new access control panels. So this is not an emergency, but we would appreciate if you pass it so that we can continue the rehabilitation of the MLK. I hope that answers all of your questions.
Well, it's not up to be passed tonight. I think that there's the concern is that why is it sort of piecemealed out instead of one bid,
Yeah.
which Director Hemmings explained that. I don't
Okay.
know from here where we go, but that's where we are. This is a first read.
Okay, excellent. So yes, so this is as low a price you're gonna get for these doors. They have been vetted through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing. I can send you the link if you want to read in detail what a cooperative purchasing agreement is.
Sure.
So I'm pretty sure,
Please send that.
okay, I'll send you the link to what a Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing is. And that way you can go through their website. It'll tell you exactly what it is, what they do, how they vetted all of these companies that are in the listing.
Okay, any other discussion?
With the other discussion,
Yes,
is why, oh, go
Miss
ahead.
Miss
ahead,
Miss
um,
Gowdy, Miss Gowdy, let Mr. Smith speak.
go
You've
ahead.
spoken twice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Madam
Counselor
Chair. Madam
Smith.
Chair, I was just actually about to thank Councilwoman Gotti for bringing these two pieces of legislation out of her committee. It's very, very important for the youth of East Cleveland to have somewhere to go once the Civic Center get fixed. So it's very important for us to hurry up and fix it. So thank you, Councilwoman Gotti, for reconsidering and bringing these two pieces of legislation out of committee so we can at least start the discussion, whether we debate or whatever, so we can finally come to a conclusion, so we can again get the Civic Center back online for the youth of East Cleveland. Thank you,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gowdy.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Councilwoman Gowdy.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Does that conclude the discussion?
I had something else to ask. Why haven't the police officers actually circle around that area, making sure that nobody breaking into? Because I mean, what they doing out here in the street is ridiculous. And I'm being honest. They should have something to do. They don't have enough work to do. They too busy flying up and down the street, running people over, killing folks and everything else. And I'm just being honest about that. They got too much idle time on their hands. Why did it get in that condition? Why is it looking like every time when you ride by, it's getting tore up, you know? I mean, they need something else to do. And I just hope that our mayor look into it, that he can utilize the time of the police officers, circulate some of these streets and in the Civic Center and making sure that it's taken care of. Even if you have a parked a car there. Now, if they see a police car, then they ain't gonna try to break into the place or tear it up, you know? They know they're gonna go to jail or get beat up.
Okay, Council Vice President.
Clerk,
For resolution 10-21, are we moving it forward?
it's a
First
first,
read. It's a
Right.
first read.
Right.
Yeah.
so we need to move to the next resolution.
Right. Let's go to the next one, please.
Resolution number 11-21, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into lease or purchase agreements for the acquisition of a 2 EPC 7,000 pound capacity 80-volt electric 4-wheel pneumatic tire lift truck compact in the amount of $70,572.08 for the use by the service department utilizing general revenue funds from the CARES Act, requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Juanita Gowdy, Vice President. This is a first read.
Boy, it's a lot of stuff here. Goodness.
Well,
Hmm.
Is there any discussion?
Well, just tell her, what does this thing do?
yeah.
What does it do? What is this equipment? What does it do? Real briefly.
It's a tow motor.
And what does it do?
It picks up crates
John.
and things of that nature and moves them from place to place. It'll pick up your car and move it.
do we have the requirement of somebody actually driving the tow motor? Because earlier, like a couple days ago, I have seen whoever driving that tow motor, it's like he's driving it like it's a car and he's speeding all down the street with it and everything. So this one is I mean, do we have people that's actually is qualified to drive it? I mean, do he have his
We have, to my knowledge, and the mayor can probably speak on this, we have a couple CDL drivers in the service department.
Yes, Council President, we do. We have a couple of CDL drivers. I myself am a CDL driver, and Mr. Marshall is well trained in driving equipment as such.
okay, and I mean, the way he's driving it, somebody gonna end up getting hurt. I mean, they just need more training. So how often do they get their training, and how often do, you know, because they need training, I'm telling you.
So about 2 weeks ago, we took possession of another piece of equipment that, thank council for voting on that equipment as well. And Caterpillar spent the better part of the day here training the employees on the use of that equipment. I went over myself for about an hour and a half and got some training on the equipment. So I absolutely agree with you. It's one of those things where you have to have continual education and continual training, and we are getting that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk, let's move forward.
Next, we have Resolution 15-21, a resolution authorizing the mayor to sell certain inoperable surplus vehicles through auction to scrap dealers or to sell the salvaged city vehicles through competitive offers, and if none is forthcoming, to junk pursuant to appropriate health and safety regulations in order to provide for safe access upon city workspaces. This is requested by Brandon L. King, Mayor, sponsored by Timothy Austin, Counselor at Large, co-sponsored by Counselors Nathaniel Martin and Ernest Smith. This is a first read.
Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, clerk, let's move forward.
Next, we have ordinance 20-21, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the county of Cuyahoga, Ohio, for the resurfacing of Ivanhoe Road from Euclid Avenue to East 152nd Street, with the county contributing 100% of the construction and design cost within the East Cleveland city limits for the project. Requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Timothy Austin, Counselor at Large, co-sponsored by Counselors Nathaniel Martin and Ernest Smith. This is the first read.
I'm sorry, but did we skip 19?
19 was taken off, from my understanding.
Oh, hold on, let me go back and see what 19 was.
It was the action plan. That's the
19
one-year action plan.
19 was amended, so we gave it a new number, 2821, because it was changed dramatically. So you'll see it as resolution 2821.
Okay. Well, why do we have 19? Because that means that the council we don't have. Well,
No, you
maybe we
should
do.
have 2821. That
Maybe
was the
we
one
do.
where we have to accept, you and I were sending emails that they have to accept the $110,800 in CARES Act funding.
Right, but, okay. It shouldn't have been sent out as 19. Because we have 19 and it's not, the agenda doesn't match what we have, is what I'm saying. All right, thank you.
Yeah, the agenda up on the screen matches.
So we have number 20.
Correct.
Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, clerk, let's move forward.
Can I get 10 on 3?
Resolution 21.
Excuse me, hold on. I'm still trying to make sure I got my little stuff here. With that change to the agenda.
The agenda and what you have in your package does not match, Counselor Austin.
Remove ordinance 19-21 because it's not on the agenda.
Okay. Well, let me get all my paperwork back in order.
Okay.
I guess we'll make sure that because I don't want to start like that stovepipe changing stuff again.
Yeah,
To make sure we stay
1921
on
won't be
track.
in your packets. I made sure those were pulled out.
No, they're in there because I got it. That's what I was saying. I'm looking for 19 and we're going straight to 20. So Counselor Austin, are you okay now?
My stuff is a little shoveled, so once I get it all together, I'll make sure I reserve my comment for later. Thank you.
All right. Clerk?
Resolution 21-21, a resolution agreeing to participate in the Ohio Department of Transportation's ODOT annual winter salt bid for the 2021-2022 year in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 5513.01B, and hereby agreeing to all of the following terms and conditions in its participation of the ODOT winter road salt contract requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Timothy Austin, Counselor at Large, co-sponsored by Counselors Nathaniel Martin and Ernest Smith. This is a first read.
Any discussion?
Yes, I just want to say that this was a matter of the economies of scale. But based on the volume purchased in conjunction with the other municipalities within the state, we get a lesser price, to put it plain. And based on the estimate provided by our service department and agreement with the administration, that is the volume that we'll purchase at the beneficial price, if you will. So economies of scale allows to purchase more for less. Thank you very much, and that's all I have.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk, let's move forward.
Ordinance 22-21, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the County of Cuyahoga, Ohio for the resurfacing of Shaw Avenue from Hayden to Allegheny, with the county contributing 50% or up to $250,000 of the construction and design cost within the East Cleveland city limits for the project, and $250,000 coming from CDBG funds, for a total of $500,000 for the revised shortened area. Requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Timothy Austin, Counselor at Large, co-sponsored by Counselors Nathaniel Martin and Ernest Smith. This is a first read.
Any discussion?
I had a question. I want to know, why was this shortened, and what is the benefit versus continue on with the initial document that was sent forward?
Madam
You mean, why
President,
was the street area shortened? Is that what you're referring to?
That's correct, because initially I think it was like, instead of 250, I think it was like 380 or something along those lines. I'm not opposed to having a discount, if you will. However, I don't want to have that to the detriment of those. I mean, it doesn't make sense where we can stop and have like an area that has a concentration of potholes as opposed to having the whole area taken care of all in one swoop if it's something that's prudent. I just want to know what the difference in either square foot or linear foot.
Madam President, unless, Mayor, do you want to address that?
Mayor
Or-
King, let Director
Yes.
Hemmings, can
So-
you let Mayor King address that?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm gonna allow the law director to chime in because it's her and Keisha that worked on this legislation, and they know the details of this particular. But what I can tell you, council, is that the county's 50-50 maxes at 250,000. So by the time you have our contractors estimate a road, they will try to stop around the 500,000 because the county's match is 250. So that's how this got shortened And I have to give it to Keisha and OHM for being successful in getting awarded this. There were a number of grant applications for this 50-50 match, and we were lucky enough to get it. And just to be honest with you, I know part of our luck had to do with the school getting the new stadium in. So good job, Keisha. Will, if you have something to add to that, please do.
Well,
You've,
can
I
you
think,
didn't answer my question, Mayor King.
Huh?
You didn't answer my question.
So your question was, why did it get shortened? So what happens is they shorten it to fit the 250 max that the county will do.
So let me make sure I get this right, because I think it was like a 280, 380, something like that, but it would, in my opinion, cover the complete area that was most beneficial, unless there is another stopgap measure planned for the future. And it
Yes.
wasn't based on solely the 250 match, because that was not the issue per se. I think it's
So
nice. However, if we need to spend a few more dollars to get the whole space taken care of, let's take the prudent action on the front side as opposed to, what's easy.
yes, thank you. Thank you, Councilman. But here's what's happening with the legislation. It maxes out at 250. So when we go above that, then the legislation wouldn't be needed for that. It has to read so that it satisfies the county's grant, which is 250. So I absolutely agree with you and would love to do more of that road. We'll have to get Keisha in here to let us know what this covers and then what the remaining part will be. As many of you know, we have done Shaw for the last 3 or 4 years, piece by piece by piece, as our money affords us the opportunity to do it. But thank you for that, and I agree with you. Yes, we should redo the entire Shaw.
Right. So no, I'm not. Don't miss my words. I'm just advising you that when I read the legislation initially, it exceeded the $250 match. Period. Then came like 380,000, like 600 whatever $1,000 it was, and I fully understood the difference between the 600 something, the 250 from the county, and what the city might be responsible for taking care of. However, I don't want to allow. Let me see if I can put this right. I would appreciate it if the information that is required from the council and the decision that's required from the council reflects what's most beneficial for the residents of the great city. That's all I'm saying.
Excellent.
So if
Thank
it's
you.
250, got it. But if it's 325 or 3 whatever that math worked out to, then let's make sure we get that captured and not do the easy wrong as opposed to taking the hard right. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Yes, we're in
Is there
agreement.
any other discussion?
Yes, I see that it said up to 250. This project, I mean, I don't see that it's saying it's guaranteed that fund. Up to can be, it get close to it, or maybe we will get that kind of money. But I have been in situations where a lot of things saying up to like 10%. You might get 10%, you might not get 10%. So I just want guaranteed if that's the figure of the money.
Ms. Gowdy, I would probably refer you to the body of the resolution.
Mhm.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk, let's move forward.
Ordinance 24-21, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the county of Cuyahoga, Ohio for the rehabilitation of Superior Road from Euclid Avenue to Lee Road, with the county contributing 100% of the construction and design cost within the East Cleveland city limits for the project. Requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Timothy Austin, Counselor at Large, co-sponsored by Counselors Nathaniel Martin and Ernest Smith. This is a first read.
Any discussion, counselors?
No.
No, thank you.
I just
Hearing.
I just see 100% here, so 100% mean guaranteed. So on Lee Road, what.
We could always live with 100%.
Yeah, 100% is more better.
100% is a win-win situation. Continue.
Go ahead.
Is there any
Resolution
other
number-
discussion? Hearing none, clerk.
Resolution number 28-21, a resolution authorizing the mayor to amend the CARES Act funding, Public Law 116-136 of 6,500. Let's start over here. $6,684 as accepted in resolution number 19-21 and amending the 2019 action plan to also include $110,800 in CARES Act CDBG funding, with the funds to be utilized in the areas of food assistance, economic development, rental assistance, and facility upgrades, and to accept the 2021 action plan, declaring an emergency for the public health, safety, and welfare. This is requested by Community Development Director, sponsored by Council President Corrine Stevenson. This is a first read.
Any discussion? Hearing none,
No, we
clerk.
accept it, ain't we?
Next, we have remarks and requests of the public. 3-minute time limit, please.
Are there any remarks of the public?
Yes.
Going once,
Yes, we got,
Mr. Omaze is here.
step
Okay,
up, sir, step up.
all right. Can
Come
you,
on.
right here, so right here. They can hear you. Take that thing down. Here. Here. All right.
This is Omaze. I'm concerned in reference to all of these contracts that you're entering into.
Mr. Mays, I need you to get closer to the mic. You sound muffled.
As I was saying, I'm concerned in
That's better.
reference, I'm concerned in reference to these contracts that you're entering into. And I'm wondering, has they been discussed with council prior to this, putting them on the agenda? Are you cognizant of these, the monies that are being spent and the monies that has come in from due to COVID-19? Has the council been apprised of those monies and how it is to be spent? And had you had any input as to what the money is to be spent on if it's not earmarked as to how it is to be spent? And my other concern in reference to any bids that you receive, the council has the right to either object them or accept them, and you go out for more bids. And you cannot compact electrical into lot, preparing a lot of land, what is it called, asphalt or whatever it is in the lot. That's one bid by itself. And the electrical things that dealing with the doors, that is another one. And that's the way they should be bidded out, what have you, opposed to everything concocted up in one bid. And that's where you get into confusion of bids and what have you. So council need to do their due diligence and question these things and not just jump up and vote on them if you have not, it has not been discussed, come before council for discussion. And secondly, people are complaining, they call in City Hall, they do not get any answers in reference to information that they are seeking, what have you. And that I'm speaking in reference to administration. They are called to speak with the mayor, whom is responsible to the citizenry, same with the council are responsible to the citizen. And you're raising houses and things and not notifying the people where you're raising houses to prepare them for these things. So communication is sucks here at City Hall. There is no communication with the citizenry as to what's going on and what you're going to do, raising houses and things of that nature. So I wonder if this money is for rehabbing and et cetera. Everything seems to be spending on this, that, or the other instead of doing things for the community to bring our city back up to code, et cetera. So let the record reflect Omaze has spoken. And I would
Any
like
other
to-
public discussion?
And I would like to an answer from the administration as well as the council. And
That's your time. That's your time, Mr.
I
Mays.
understand that, but the citizen need answers.
We understand that, Mr. Mays. We heard you. Any other public comment? Going once, going twice? Clerk?
Response of council and mayor to the remarks of the public.
Mayor King?
Thank you, Council President. So I'll try to keep this brief. I have two announcements. This Thursday is the 8th of April at 6:30. We will have another tele-town hall, be part 2 of the State of the City. This Thursday, 6:30, we will send out the dial-in information for those of you who want to dial in. For those of you who'd like to get on the automatic dial-in number where the machine calls you, please call 681-2211 and we'll get your contact information so that the system calls you and you can be on the tele-town hall this Thursday, 6:30. So Belinda's getting me the dial-in number and I'll give it to you here shortly. The second, here's the dial-in number. If you're ready to write it down, go ahead. 1-855-756-7520, extension 729. 83 pounds, 729-83 pounds. If you lose that or if you can't remember, please call 681-2211 and Renee will be more than happy to give you that number again. Again, that's Thursday at 6:30, Teletown Hall, part 2 of the State of the City address. Also, for those of you who did not know, the governor will be back in town, and I'll just say this, right, with all humility, it's the 3rd time the governor's been here, the 3rd time. Now, I know the last time I said it's the 1st time the governor's been in the city, and I had all kind of blowback from former elected officials saying that, no, they had the governor here. Okay, the governor was here twice, right? Now, I know they're gonna say they had the governor here twice. Governor will be here tomorrow for the 3rd time during this administration. The governor will be here for the 3rd time tomorrow at Mayfair. Now, although he'll be here for the 3rd time, this is on behalf of the schools, PCs for People. They're setting up internet, low-cost internet access for about 1,000 residents, and the hub or the tele antenna will be at Mayfair. So if those of you who aren't busy tomorrow, please come to Mayfair at 10 a.m. You'll see the governor and of course, the great County Executive Armin Bush, who we have a lot to be thankful for. When you see the 100%, when you see the 50-50 matches, we have to thank our County Executive Armin Bush. He's been a real champion and in our corner. Unless there's any questions or concerns of my report, Council President, that concludes it.
Councilor Gowdy?
I'll wait. just go ahead with the rest of the council. I have to get my thoughts together because
Counselor
the wrong
Martin?
bag, I have to really.
Yeah, my question is, first of all, my statement is the CARES Act has been a blessing for us last year and this year. And it's an honor to have the governor here for the third time in East Cleveland. That's history making. Even the Democratic coverage didn't come here that often. So that's good news. I did want to ask the mayor, we've been hearing that we're getting $27 million of the stimulus money coming to, and then we hear it's 75%. Can you clarify for me and the public exactly about how much money we'll be getting in 2021 of the CARES Act money, which has been a blessing for our police and fire and rental assistance in some other areas? Can you articulate that? You can use some of my comments to respond to that, please.
Thank you, Councilman Martin. Unfortunately, I regret that you did not get the letter I wrote last week. So a couple weeks ago, the President Biden did sign the American Rescue Plan. It was initially put out that we would be getting somewhere in the neighborhood of 28 million over 2 installments, with the first installment coming in the first 60 to 90 days. Now, we have not received confirmation on what we will be getting. However, reading through, there's a small piece in there that speaks towards communities as ours, so far as population, which would then drop the amount we get from the 28 to somewhere around 16, right? And again, the state will still have the option to give it to us in 2 installments. So we haven't had confirmation on the amount that we're going to get, and we haven't had confirmation on the rules, policies, procedures, and the reporting requirements. Not sure if our finance director is on the line. However, that is the latest on that. In the letter I sent out, Councilman Martin, I did say, and I reiterated here gladly, once we receive confirmation on the amount and the rules and regulations, the requirements and reporting, I will call a special meeting of council to then sit down to see how we can best utilize this funding for the great city of East Cleveland within the parameters we're given. How's that?
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Counselor Smith?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank my colleagues. Thank everyone from the administration. Really want to thank our great clerks for doing an exceptional job. We all know that it's not easy. Most importantly, I want to thank our neighbors, the great people of East Cleveland, everyone who took your time out to join this Zoom meeting, the Zoom platform. We know that it's still very, very different, and we can't wait to be able to see you all and see each other in person. To answer a few of one of my constituents' concerns about that we look over these things before we discuss them at the council meeting.
He's dying out.
I'll say this.
Huh?
Counselor Smith, you're cutting out.
Yeah, he's cutting out. They ain't got nothing to do with it. So, man.
Can you all hear me?
He's froze.
I can hear you now. Can you start over?
Let me see. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I was saying I wanted to thank everyone for joining us on this Zoom platform, especially the residents, our neighbors who took time out to join us on this Zoom platform. I was saying that hopefully we all look forward to seeing our residents in person, hopefully in the near future. And I wanted to comment on Mr. O'Mays that said, do we look over these things before we bring them to the council meeting? Which he knows that we do. I ask that Mr. O'Megs look to his right and his left in the room that he's in now. Those two council people are not going to let anything get on the regular agenda without going through committee. So I just wish you just stop. Period. Again, I want to thank Councilwoman Gowdy for bringing those two pieces of legislation, as far as the MLK Center, out of committee. They should have been already passed and everything, but sometimes we have to do things slower than what others would like. So I still appreciate her bringing those very important pieces of legislation out of committee. Again, as far as rehab and demolition, I just wish some people just stop. Everyone knows that all this demolition that is taking place, this comes from the heart, mind, body, and soul of the people. The people are tired of being 30, 40, 50-year residents with abandoned, vacant, and dilapidated property on each side of them. Very dangerous properties that can have children in there getting hurt, things of that nature. I don't have to go through say all that because you all know. Also, it's very dangerous to have some of these houses that people live in that's falling apart. And yes, we'll be looking for some of you homeowners. That's what some of these homeowners need to be worried about, is their property falling apart and putting people in danger, especially if it's a lot of children around their house. So we know what season it is. It's politicking season. It's politicking year. But I'm here to tell you, no politicking this way. Thank you. Thank you again to the people of East Cleveland. My phone number is 216-925-0957. No matter what ward you live in, please feel free to call me anytime. Thank you.
Counselor Austin.
Greetings. Let me pull this thing over real quick. Can you hear me? Hello?
You sound muffled, sir.
Okay, let me unmuffle myself then. Better? Is this better?
Yes.
Hello? Great, thank you. I did hear some concerns about whether we are doing our due diligence as members of council on some pieces of legislation. Yes, we are. And the committees are where most of the hard work is being done. If you want to find out what's going on prior to something taking place on hitting the agenda and or hitting the actual council meeting prior to a vote, it is imperative. They should actually, log on and hear what's going on in committee, because that's when we have the opportunity to roll our sleeves up and really get into the nuts and bolts of what is indeed best for the residents of this great city. I chair contract correction. I now chair General Service Administration and focus on infrastructure. And there has been several discussion about items of road repair and or lack thereof. So these things will continue to take place because this is indeed that season where a lot of things that need to be addressed will be addressed in order to make the quality of life better for our residents. So if you have a specific question, have the one desire to seek a solution where you actually might get it, other than just, shooting darts and or brimstone, if you will. So if you truly seek solutions to the things that are of concern to you or the other residents, do your due diligence and come to the table and talk about those things that may provide you a solution as opposed to more controversy and or chaos. Subject to your questions and or concerns, that's all I have. Councilman Austin out.
Thank you, Counselor Austin. Counselor Gowdy.
Yes, I would like to thank all the residents from listening to us on council meeting tonight. And I want to thank my colleagues and the mayor, but I do have some concerns because we as the body and as the administration, we should come together, because the Civic Center, I still have a problem with that, because we did donate. A lot of people donated money, and then the mayor had a lot of money, and I really, for it to look like that in that condition, I feel real bad, because it should never get to that point. And to break down all these different, like Johnson & Johnson, to come up with all this money, we got the COVID money, but we definitely have to be wise of using it, because there's so much that our city needs. And we don't need to pour into one person all of our money, especially when they should give it, give us some donations, because if to help us out, because we're looking for somebody to actually work with us, not take from us, and the grant money should have been broken down into a lot of different people to help out with our city. I know that this is one company, but this one company is asking for a little too much money from, and I'm going to look into more, offering people to offer us some help, because we need the help. East Cleveland needs the help. And if Brandon King, our mayor, can just put a police car over there, that can be security right there, to help us out. We need security, but we need our police officers to actually patrol that area, so it won't be broken up to pieces and the doors are falling all off, like Councilor Martin said when he rode past, it looked like it being condemned, it shouldn't get that bad, what made it get that bad? Somebody ain't doing their job. So we want you to know that we want to work with you, but you got to work with us, because we need the help, but we ain't gonna go out backwards. And the second thing, the governor is coming. I thank God that the governor is coming. He's been coming here for a little while, and you see what's going on. And the reason why he came the first time, a young lady got killed and left children. You remember the lights hands looked like a freeway out there. So I guess when Art McCoy helped the governor to get here the first time. So we all join in to help, and this is where I'm at. We have to help one another and support one another. So when Art McCoy called the governor, he came. So, but he's our governor, see our condition. It's up to us to do something about it. We got a CARE Act fund money, but we have to use it wisely. City Hall right here at City Hall, it needs some help. We need elevators. We need everything, everything, from the doors to the windows. We need a facelift on City Hall, So I'm being honest, and it's nothing funny, it's sad, and I feel like crying sometimes when I come into our neighborhood and actually see stuff like this. But, I'm gonna hold back, So the CARE Act money, is a blessing for us to get our act together. It ain't a blessing to give our money away to one person or somebody sound good. I already have money. We need to utilize the money and spread it out so we can see a great big difference in our city. And I thank God for the mayor, but the mayor have so much on his plate that he's missing the mark in some areas about our city. And I'm not putting him down or nothing, but I'm just saying a lot of things can be avoided if we can do the right thing with the money. And that's what I'm saying. We can't be pouring in money into one pot when we can spread the pot around. And that's my report. And I thank you for listening to me, because my heart goes out to our city. And the CARE Act money, like I said, is a blessing. And everything else that goes with it is a blessing, but we have to be wise of using the money. That's all I have to say. Y'all have a blessed night and a blessed evening.
Okay, well, it's been an interesting evening. I would like you all to give yourself a round of applause, because I think we did really well this evening, and I really appreciate your cooperation. So here's from me to you. With that said, I will have my say and try to address some of the concerns that have come up this evening. Mr. Martin, you had a question that you wanted to ask of Mr. Austin. Did you ask that question?
I don't remember it now, so just move on.
Okay.
I knew that would happen, so that's okay.
All right. Here's my situation with the agenda. I would ask Ms. Gowdy that you review the documents, and anybody else on the council, would you please review in detail the documents that are attached to resolutions 921 and 1021. I think you'll find some interesting information there. With regard to 1521, I guess this would be up to Mr. Austin to probably send me an email or something to tell me where these vehicles are located, because when we start getting rid of vehicles, I like to go look at them and see what's going on, why we need to get rid of so many vehicles so many times a year. 2021 was confusing to me because if you look at those materials, there are two different agreements attached, and I'm not sure why. 24 has some issues in section 1. 2821 facility upgrades. I would like to know how the funds are being divided, because you're saying that the funds are being divided amongst 3 or 4 different activities, including the facility upgrades. And when I read the resolution in section 2, is repetition going on from the second whereas to section 2. They seem to read the same. And I have a concern as to why are we reducing the comment period for the period 2020 to 2024. When you say you're reducing the comment period, it sounds to me like you're reducing the period of time that the public has to respond. And if that's the case, I would like to know why. With that brings me to the road repair. And I guess this is for Mr. Austin also. We haven't submitted a list of streets to be repaired this year yet. And so my concern, and it may just be my concern, that we are spending quite a bit of money with the 50% match to one of these resolutions, and some money someplace else with regard to street repair. And so I'm wondering how much money that's going to give us to repair those 45 streets that are currently on the street repair listing. The lighting in the community and the grass cutting are also concerns of my constituents. I don't understand. I ride around often in the evenings after dark to see where the lights are. And it seems to me that the same lights keep going out all the time. And I'm trying to figure out, why are the lights in East Cleveland constantly going out? So I need somebody to help me understand that, because I don't see why street lights don't go out like a bulb in your house. So that's another one of my concerns. And lastly, the grass cutting. I would just hope that we don't get into a situation like we were in last year with this grass cutting, and that it works out to be a lot better. With that said, I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you and enjoy your evening.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:54 p.m.